When you think of the word suburb, you think of a serene area full of riches and as much peacefulness as you could ask for. But like many other great men have said before me, there's two sides to every story. There's also two sides to every city. There's one side that has seen riches all their life, never even comprehending what a real struggle is and what others in another part of their city go through every day just to survive. But in another man's world is a hidden one, not yet known by the general public, but the people that know of the wars inside the walls of the East.
Police say a double murder took place Saturday night about a mile from the historic downtown square. Investigators now tell us the victims were siblings, just 17 and 22 years old. We're told they were shot in the street, not near the businesses nearby. Paramedics rushed both victims to a hospital, but they didn't survive the gunshot wounds.
It was a planned fight gone wrong. Simple but fatal mistakes made that ended up with two brothers being left dead. One brother, named KJ, a former football player at McKinney High, turned to the dark streets of the East Side, raised around the violent and notorious area of Sugar Hill. Then we have another, named Lamaria, a man that was not affiliated with a gang but was once a football player himself, loved by the East for his outgoing energy. It was November 9th, 2024. It was a crisp Saturday evening. Earlier that morning, KJ would post a tweet, unbeknownst to him, being his last tweet ever being alive. It was said around 6 p.m. KJ and Lamaria had driven to a house on Colorado Street to fight Moo, an RTS member that had unknown issues with KJ due to beef between RTS and 1200, a gang that KJ was affiliated with. It is unknown what the specific reason for the altercation was, but what is known is that KJ and Lamaria were outside of Moo's house arguing with him and other RTS members. Part of the incident was caught on camera before the tragic incident, which I will show to you right now.
CBS News Texas obtained this surveillance video of the moments before the shooting. You can hear several people arguing in front of a home at the intersection of Colorado and Chestnut Streets in McKinney.
After this brief argument, just as KJ and Lamaria were planning to leave, tragedy struck, and it struck immediately. It was said that Emiliano and other three RTS members saw Lamaria clutch a gun, prompting all four of them to start shooting at the two. Bullets flied and struck the brothers, tearing through their bodies just as quickly as they came towards them. They tried to run, but fell down in defeat. By the time people had come out to help the brothers minutes later, the shooters had already fled the scene. Both brothers were transported to Medical City in McKinney, but would succumb to their injuries and die not even hours later. This is one of the last photos of KJ, a boy still so young, on the ground fighting for his life still after getting shot, while multiple RTS members stood over him, mocking him and even allegedly kicking his head while he was down. Ramon, 21 at the time, was arrested the same day the shooting happened, being caught in a high-speed chase with Richardson PD. Moo, 16 at the time, was later caught a few days later and booked into the juvenile jail, and later last year, when he turned 17, was booked into the Collin County Jail, where they both await trial for multiple capital murder charges. This next story takes place not too far from the last ones, but the circumstances slightly different. A story of betrayal and backdoors, leading to two young men losing their lives in a shootout. One man named Measy, also known as Dixie and Mac, a member of a Princeton gang named YBNGM, a gang based out of the Hazelwood Apartments in the North End section of the city, where trapping and money-making is all these people know. And then we have another man, 19-year-old Chris Calvo, or CC. While he didn't claim a specific section or a gang, he was a resident at the Merritt McGowan Apartments, aka 1200. He was simply just a trapper who wanted to make a way out for himself. It was November 27th, 2024, the day before Thanksgiving. The day before you are supposed to be spending time with your loved ones and enjoying good food. But little did Chris know Measy would be plotting a backdoor on him that day that would result in both being killed. It was said that around 7 o'clock, Measy and his partners JD and CP would meet up with Chris to trade guns at a parking lot in the Kenwood Apartments on the north side. As the exchange happened, Measy was said to have reached for Chris's gun, leading to Chris shooting at Measy and Measy shooting back with JD and CP. A full-on bang-out, leaving Measy shot, and bleeding in the car along with CP. Chris was hit as well and laid on the ground motionless. It was said that JD had driven both of his partners to the hospital while police were chasing them. While JD was able to successfully drop both of them off, Measy would succumb to his injuries not long after and pass away at Medical City, McKinney. While CP would survive, he was arrested on the scene and charged with capital murder. Jade would attempt to go on a high-speed chase as well, which was promptly stopped in Richardson, and he was caught too. As for their fates, JD got 4 years in TDCJ prison, and surprisingly, CP was able to get off with only 5 years probation. But the loss of their partner still lingers. This just shows just because you're a taker, that doesn't mean you can't get took. And unfortunately, even if Measy got off as well, his soul was taken. Forever now, a memory all over a gun.